Hello friends, hi. My name is Kartik Iyer and I teach theory subjects at CA Final and IPC levels. Today I am going to tell you about how you need to prepare the subject ISCA on the day of the exam or after you come back from writing the costing paper. Let's see. I have divided the entire portion into 9 parts and which have been subcategorized into 3 main parts, that is big chapters, medium chapters and small chapters. In the big chapters, first chapter I have included is Protection of Information Systems, which I have written here as POIS. The part A of this chapter includes Application Control and Managerial Control. Managerial Control for November 2016 exam is an amendment. Next is the same chapter, that is Protection of Information System, part B, which will include the balance chapter. The next chapter in the big chapters list is your SDLC, or which is called Acquisition, Development and Implementation of Information Systems. Your medium chapter first includes your chapter 1, that is Governance, your chapter 6, that is AOIS or Audit of Information Systems, and your chapter 8, that is your Emerging Technologies. Emerging Technologies till last attempt was a small chapter, but in this attempt, in November 2016 attempt, it has a lot of amendments. Hence, I have included that in your medium chapters list. And at the end, I have included the small chapters, which is your Information Systems Concepts, your chapter 2, your chapter 4, that is Business Continuity Planning and Disaster Recovery Planning, and your chapter 7, that is IT Regulatory Issues. Now, how do you need to study the subject so that you can cover the entire portion not only once but twice? You need to be extremely well planned. You need to have a time limit for each chapter so that you can complete all the chapters and also get a chance to recover all the points just before the exam. Let's see how to do it. The time slots that will be available to you will be day 1, that is after you come back from your costing exam. So that day from 7 p.m. onwards, I am assuming you will study at least till 1 a.m. So you will get around 6 hours to study. Your day 2 morning, that is your 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. becomes your slot 2. Your slot 3 is day 2 evening, that is from 3:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. I am calling this the evening slot. Then you have day 2 night slot, that is your 10:30 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. Now after you sleep, you will get back next day. That will be 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. That will be your slot number 5. And finally, slot number 6 will be from your 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Now, how to manage your time in these 6 slots? Let's see. First of all, on your day 1, that is your day 1 evening, 7 p.m. to 1 a.m., you need to cover 1 big, 1 medium, and 1 small chapter. So, from this list, you can pick your best big chapter, your favorite medium chapter, and your favorite small chapter. For example, suppose if I take my Acquisition, Development and Implementation of Information System, that is your chapter 5. Suppose if I take my Emerging Technologies as the second chapter from your medium category, and from a small category, suppose if I take BCP and DRP. This has to be done till your day 1 end, that is till the time you sleep. 1 big, 1 medium and 1 small. Once this is done, you need to go to day 2 now. Day 2, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. is your slot 2. You need to cover 1 big, 1 medium and 1 small chapter once again. So from the balance chapters you need to cover, suppose 1 big, suppose if I take POIS part A, suppose if I take AOIS, that is Audit of Information Systems, and if I take Information Systems Concepts. This should be done by 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Now, students generally ask, what do we need to do in this time? What should the approach be? Your approach should be to see whether you have understood each concept or not, whether you can recollect the head points or not, and third thing, whether you can remember the key module words or not. If you have these 3 areas covered, then you need not worry. It means the preparation is going on fine. Next is your day 2 evening slot, which I have given from 3:30 p.m. till 10 p.m. At that time too, you need to cover 1 big, 1 medium and 1 small chapter. Now, I have given this gap from 3 to 3:30 p.m. where I strongly recommend students to take a nap, because it will refresh your mind, it will help you to recollect points better, it will help you to relax. Okay. So 1 big, 1 medium and 1 small, that of course leaves us with the balance chapters, that is your POIS part 2, your governance chapter, and your IT regulatory issues. With this, you have completed the first revision till 10 p.m. of day 2. Now, let's go to day 2 night part. If you see here, we have the day 2 night slot, that is from 10:30 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. Now, what to do in this time? Students should pick their best 2 chapters. Now, from whatever you have studied, you must have built in a lot of confidence. Out of this confidence which you have built in yourself, see which chapters are your favorite 2 chapters. So your 2 chapters you need to cover here. Now what you need to cover in this is, you need to cover the head points of the chapters. Plus if any key diagram or key words which you need to look for. For example, if you are doing this chapter, acquisition, development and implementation of information systems, you have the diagram of traditional approach. You have the diagram of the spiral model of system development. In your keywords, when you are doing rapid application development, some keywords are joint application development. Another important keyword is time boxes. Now whether you need to keep in mind whether these keywords are clearly in your head, whether you have understood these concepts or not. Next is your day 3 morning. Day 3 morning, you will get time from morning 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. In this time, you need to cover your balance portion head points. I'm just writing for short form HP, plus your key diagrams or words. Now you are doing the same thing that you did the previous night, but now for the balance chapters. Now on day 3, just before the exam, what do you need to do? Now if you see, we have completed the major content portion here. You have completed the head points and the keywords in your slot number 4 and slot number 5. Now what do you need to do in the 6th slot? There are some answers the student inherently find tricky or they find it difficult to remember it. They have understood the concept well, they have memorized, tried their best to memorize it also, but still that answer really gives you trouble. Now this can be student specific answer. Students may come and say that, okay, in AOIS there is something known as SCARF, there is something known as ITF. Now how should I remember all those technical critical points? For that, I have given you 1 hour here from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. What I recommend students to do is, you take a piece of paper, write the chapter name and write maximum 2 answers which you are finding difficulty to remember it. So you are not wasting time to memorize it here, but in fact you are pushing it to the last 1 hour so that you give enough time to the concepts you know well. Now in that last 1 hour, you can give time to these answers and sort them up properly. So that will cover your difficult answers. That will cover your difficult answers. Now if you see, we have covered the entire portion nicely because the content reading has been done once. We have completed the head points nicely. So your head points have been done here once and here once. So that is twice within 1.5 days. And last but not the least, you have also taken care of the difficult answers. This will give you the confidence to do ISCA well. I wish you all the very best. If you have any queries, you can drop me a message at 98338 67642 and I will be happy to solve your queries regarding ISCA, law or audit. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye.